What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we are back and finally back for another round of the SRL APAC for season number 4. We are here for round number 3 here at the Spanish Grand Prix as we're just patiently waiting to be let out of the pit garages here. Well, I thought I was originally waiting for somebody else, but it was actually my teammate Conrad. So that'll be kind of his. We go a little bit close for comfort there, coming out of the pit lane exit. But anyway, here's the championship standings. As you can see, DRC Giant leads the way. We are currently in position 10 on the championship standings. Of course, Conrad is in position 13. Apologies, there is no constructors standings to speak of. So blame Water 99 for that one. But anyway, now first things first, probably the elephant in the room. A massive apologies for the lateness of this video and probably all the future videos that are going to come out eventually. There's probably been a lot of explaining to do with what's going on with me, but with the lack of the videos coming out. But just a bit, well, there's probably one thing, there's obviously my work commitments. It's a bit difficult finding time to get these videos edited and out to the public pretty much in time, pretty much. Yeah, so that's probably one hassle. But another thing also, I have moved my gaming setup as well. So where I have it placed now is basically in the same room as my internet router, which should help, fingers crossed, in futures. Well, hopefully it is anyway, with not having much lag on my screen anyway, but compared to where I was, which was probably the next room pretty much next to me. So yeah, so basically I had to move all the gaming setup, which does include the mic that I use for the recordings, the voice recordings that I'm pretty much doing right now as we speak. Had to move that into my lounge room as well, which basically set up where it is right now. So I am planning on getting another mic for the back room anyway, so I can use it out there like as a studio to pretty much just do these voice recordings, and of course have this one in here for for live com pretty much for this one anyway. So that's probably the main parts of those ones. So yeah, that's hopefully in future this does not happen again. But I've said that before, and I've probably what's the wording? I can't even think of the wording here. It's been a long while since I've done a voiceover. Can you tell? So anyway, like I said, we're finally back. I can't remember exactly how long since it's been since I last uploaded on my my channel anyway. But this was round 3 here in Spain. As you can see, things have not really getting off to the greatest of starts here. We are pretty much really struggling here on this medium tyres, and to be honest, coming into this round, was a bit underdone, to be honest. Didn't have any practice at all, and pretty much had no knowledge of setup whatsoever. So basically, because I'm in VSR, as you would have known, back at obviously I think it was, where was it? Back at SRL last year in Russia, became part of Visceral Racing. If you haven't already, if you don't follow me on Twitter, then what the hell are you doing? Go give me a follow. All the links, as always, will be down in the description below. But yeah. I basically inquired, like, what's a good setup for Spain around here? And a couple of the guys, my fellow VSR teammates, there's one from, I think, PS4 and one from PC, or originally PC, and is now transitioned back to PS4. That sort of gave me a few setup ideas about what's a good setup around Spain. So it's just basically the case of let's just see what it feels like, and if it feels good, then yeah, it'll work wonders anyway. But you see, with going the long runs here on the medium tyres here, there's basically, like I said, had no practice. So but basically this early part of qualifying was pretty much the practice, just getting used to the track, getting used to the wheel again. So it did take me a little bit of time, but did eventually get used to it again. But currently position 8 at the moment, but at the moment we are going to improve our lap times, which does jump us up into position number 4 here. What is it here? It is a 1:18.862, which, like I said, puts us in P4, but then obviously drops us down to P6, I think it is. We'll probably see it when we go to that thing in the middle there. But So here's a replay now on board with DRC Jared, who was a little bit affected by this by me a bit because he was right behind me. Now, I probably do get it that you're trying to get a bit of slipstream from the back of the car, but be frank, you probably didn't really need to be that close to me, if I'm completely honest. I mean, I'm not having to go at Jared as best I can, but I mean, he's still a quick driver nonetheless. Anyway, as you can see, he's currently position 2 because Derek Kitt is leading the way, but we've dropped all the way back to position 6. Didn't feel like a...
Our best lap so far is a 1 minute 18.8.
Let me correct my wording. Felt okay-ish, to say the least, but yeah, I mean, it's still early days here, qualifying anyway, so yeah, like I was saying with Jared, I mean, probably didn't need to be that close there, and obviously my laggy internet's probably playing up a little bit there, so yeah, apologies for that one, but this round was well back out. I think it was still out in the room where I originally had my gaming set up before I moved. I think it was like a couple of rounds later or something. But anyway, just on out here now on the super soft tyres, just sort of like seeing what the pace was like on the super soft tyres. I mean, last year,
2 laps of fuel left.
last season I should say. Can you tell it's been a while since I've done a voiceover on a video? But last season I did qualify on the super soft tyres. Probably was a mistake, as we just invalidated a lap time there. So as we try to get back straight back into the pit lane here, because it was pretty much what's the 5 minute, you know, the timer popped up there. I thought, yeah, I've got to come back in and just try and get on the set of soft tyres. As yeah, we just come into the pits. As Conrad, obviously, you saw then, is now out. Well, he's retired from qualifying. I think he actually did that in the pit lane. So he's feeling pretty confident at the moment. But we have dropped down all the way back to P11. But yeah, like I was saying, learnt my mistake from last season by not qualifying on super soft tyres. Anybody who qualifies on super soft tyres around here, you're pretty much not going to last too long here. If you can get to, I don't know, probably about lap 6 or 7 or even 8 at best, then good luck to you. Because pretty much the tyre compound around here is pretty much soft to medium. That's pretty much the tyre strategy around here. As Derek Kidd actually, it's another quick time, so he's gone straight to the top. But we'll stick a board here because that obviously you saw then the previous medium run was actually the fastest lap time here. But this was the lap I was going to try and improve on the soft tyres and maybe get myself higher up inside the top 10. But let's see how it pans out here. We come through fast right-hander of turn 3. Nice corner through there. Now coming up into turn 4. We are improving the time here at the current moment. We're about 3/10 quicker than the previous lap time here. So if I could get, I wasn't really exactly getting a reference for a good lap time around here. I'm not sure exactly what a decent lap time is on the soft tyres. You probably want to be in the 17s or something or other. Get in the 16s, good luck to you. But now coming to the fast flying turn 9 here. Why go flat here? It just didn't feel the confidence there anyway. But now coming about 6/10 now. Nearly 6.5 tenths actually coming through into sector 2 as we come through this tricky little section here through turns 11 and 12. Probably shouldn't have gone back all the way to third gear there, but now coming into turn 13, it's run a little bit deep, and that was pretty much it. That's the lap time done. And well, to be honest, I wasn't really happy with that one. It felt like I let an opportunity slip there, so come straight back into the pit lane here. I have no idea what the hell I was doing there. Probably trying to find the pit limiter or something. But I literally wanted to chuck it in the wall there because I was just furious with myself. I could have easily maybe got my... I'm not sure exactly where I would have got myself. I think it was about a second quicker than the previous lap time there. So, I mean, we probably could have got a bit higher up the order there. Don't know, we're probably going to get ourselves in the top 10 or something. But New Zealand Ryan actually gets pole. It's actually his first race. Yeah, he's on his return into SRL. I think originally he was planning to do a bit of a break season for this season, especially. But he's come back because I think for the next couple of rounds, I think it was that Jared was missing, so he was getting himself match fit again, I think. But anyway, race strategy wise, so that's obviously we're outside the top 10. So originally it did plan to start on the super softs to softs and then the mediums. That was not going to happen at all. So going to try a strategy here, pretty much do the opposite like what most of the top 10 runners would do. So start on the mediums, go long, and go onto the set of soft tyres at the end, blaze on, and if you get a decent result, that'll be a massive boost on the set off for the formation lap here.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Thank you, Jeffrey. So off we set for the formation lap here. No, I was still committed to this, even though probably maybe some people thought I'd made a massive blunder here, because most of the other guys here, well, my teammate's actually gone on the super soft tyres, so his tyres won't last too long here. But I think majority others outside the top 10 were probably starting on soft tyres, so they're probably going to be around the same pace as the top 10. As you can see, DRC Jarrett he's actually outside the 10 in P11 there, which is not ideal for him. But anyway, we'll get set here for round number 3 here of SRL APAC 5 red lights. Let's do it around Catalonia. It's a jump start actually for Wadey there. You saw on screen, so he's gone way early there. So he obviously pulled to the side, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's already got a drive-through penalty. But you can see all the madness going up here, so just taking it cautiously here. There's Calvo trying to go around the outside here, but trying to keep that outside line, which will turn to the inside line here to turn 3. You're seeing a lot of cars, including myself, running very wide there. But happens quite a lot in lap 1 chaos as we try to go around the outside here of New Zealand Venom, who's on the soft tyres here. Keep around the outside here, we go up the inside here as there's a bit of carbon fibre going off there. As H-Show's been, I think, pushed off the road there. It looked like from Jared there. I'm not sure exactly what's happened there as we get a little bit close for comfort there. That would have been a bit awkward if I ran into the back of Jared, but Jared's trying to get the muscle out a little bit here. I think he possibly is the one that got wing damage there, but that slowed up top banter there. So we're going to try to go around the long way around here. That's not really possible, but we've got to try our absolute best here. But we have to succumb. Didn't quite get around the outside there of Toppy B. But anyway, we're now back up into P10. So we've already gained, 4 spots I think we have from our starting position. So not too bad. Anyway, but end of lap 1, Jarrett is into the pits, so like I thought, he's got some front wing damage for sure. So he's going to have to go. I'm not sure. He's going to have to be on a 2-stop strategy now to get back into this race and keep that Force India podium streak alive. At this rate, Alan Hugo's probably going to have to do the hard work here to keep it alive. Excuse me. As lap 2, obviously, just trying to follow on behind Toppy B. So I mean, we gained 5 spots from the start. So I mean, not too bad considering the least anyway. But we had RBR behind us as well. But for some unknown reason, I think we had a bit of a lag moment there between myself and RBR, and fortunately he got a bit of front wing damage. I can't exactly remember where it was, but someone dive bomb tried to go up the inside there. I think it was the other Toro Rosso, Death Bro, tried an absolute dive bomb there on the Gold Power. Didn't work out, so that drops him back to position 7. And I think Gold Power is the only one in the top 10, I think, that is on super soft tyres. So even though he might have a little bit of grip to start with, his tyres will drop away big time here. But we'll be starting to begin lap 3 now. Won't have DRS yet here. Trying to go around the long way. He has a little bit of close comfort there between myself and Toppy B. Wasn't overly thrilled with that one because I thought Top Banter was squeezed me off the road there. But we managed to get away with it, and we're still in this race, still got our front wing. So long way to go. It's like 30-odd laps to go in this race here as we continue on through turn 9 as we nearly lose the back end. That would have literally been curtains. That was pretty much a heart in your mouth moment, that one. But just like pretty much playing the patient game through here, and obviously RBR still behind there. But we take the curb a bit too much there, coming off the final chicane there. It's quite easy to do if you don't aim for the right curve. Well, if you don't ride the curve perfectly, then the car, that will happen, what you saw then. But here's a replay ball with Jared, who's trying to thread the needle up the inside here. That's not possible, I don't think, especially on lap 1. You can see Gold Power, like I said, is on super soft tyres. And Jared already gets a warning there, but he's already up into P8. Wasn't a great qualifying for him, like I said, for Jared. Up, I think he qualified just outside the 10, so I mean, you have a fresh set of tyres there. But he gets up the inside of Death Bro here. And he's right behind HO here. Oh, no. Don't think he even saw that. And, oh, man, that's, yeah.
Be careful with the front wing.
To be honest, when I saw this bit of footage here, and I think Jared didn't realise HO braked too early, but that aftermath when he just pushed HO off the road there, that was just a bit of dumb driving, if I'm completely honest. I'm sorry, Jared, if you disagree with me, but that was just a bit too aggressive there, and probably could have maybe done a little bit better there, in my opinion. But anyway, he's coming obviously into the pit lane, and obviously he'll have to change for a new front wing, and he's going to go on the medium tyres, I think. Yes, he will. So he might, well, I don't think he'll get away with the one stop. He'll have to come back in again and get onto another set of tyres there as yellow flags is now HO, who's now out of the Grand Prix. I think he's done that on his own there on the front straight there. Wouldn't be surprised that exit curb coming out of the final corner could quite easily catch you out, and obviously the wall will await you as anyway, that's unfortunate for HO there, but lap 5, Death Bro actually got by Gold Power, who's I think really starting to struggle here on these super soft tyres. So you can see Top Banter and myself is trying to put a bit of pressure on him here, going on to lap 6. Top Banter up the inside here already, just trying to get the slipstream here. Don't really want to get past these two here, because there was a bit of lag bad on my screen there, but quite get up the inside there. So, but we can't afford to stay behind Gold Power too long here, because obviously the guys ahead on the soft tyres will start, their tyres will start to wear out a little bit more than mine. But obviously for me, I am going to be pushing and go as long as I can as Gold Power gets a little bit sideways there. We go up the inside here, go with a really tight line here. The drive out of here, which we just do. Managed to just keep it in there. Gold Power's putting up a bit of a fight here. That's no can do. We sort of squeeze him out a little bit there, and there we go. They're now up into P7 now, trying to chase back after Top Banter ahead in the Toro Rosso. Thank you, Jeff, for the encouragement there. But anyway, lap 7 we're on to now. You can see the DRS slipstream is pretty decent here, but wasn't keen on trying a move here. Like I said, I wasn't going to be doing any silly moves early on in this race. It's only lap 7. Long, long way to go. So we run very wide there. That's what dirty air can do for you if you're stuck behind this car like I was just then. But see, we've got some pretty decent-ish pace at the moment here. Now just trying to get a decent run here off the final corners. We start to begin lap 8 here at the Spanish Grand Prix. You can see Top Banter's trying to break the slipstream from me, but not really working out too badly here. Just not quite close enough here. If we had a better run out of the final couple of corners, then we probably would have maybe sized up a move there. But Conrad is now into the pit lane, so that was probably his super soft tyres wearing out big time there. So he's done pretty well actually to get the lap 8 here, as we're still piling on the pressure here on Toppy B. But yeah, I wasn't going to do any silly moves here. There's not many, couple of passing spots there. Obviously he runs very wide there onto the gravel, so I think his soft tyres are really starting to go off here. Probably only maybe a couple of passing spots you can do, probably up into turn number 10 and obviously down to turn 1. You can sort of get up the inside of turn 4 as well, as we nearly lose the rear end again coming out of turn 9. Was trying to get the run up here into turn 10 and maybe go for a lunge up the inside, but no, just going to have to play the patient game here at the moment. But car setup actually felt pretty decent here. Felt like I had some pretty decent pace, but now coming through into the final chicane here, we can get a decent run here as we try to avoid the curb there, because obviously once you saw the flying bit earlier on, just trying to avoid it as much as I can. But now we've got a much better run here on Top Banter here. Cover the inside line here, but we're going to try the long way around here to turn 1, and I think Top Banter sort of backs out a little bit there. So there you go. Now up into position 6. Now chasing after his teammate Death Bros a little bit further up the road there. You can see where the 2 leaders are down at turn 5 as Gold Power now says fastest lap of the race. So I think Gold Power was doing the 2-stop as well, from going from supers to the softs, I think.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.0 seconds. You're falling back by 1/10 a lap. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:22.0. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
So just getting an insight there of what's Death Pro's penalty-wise, and only got one. He's got one penalty so far, whereas me, I've got 0 at this stage. Don't think I've even. I might have a warning. I'm not really too sure at the current stage. But anyway, we'll check out some replays here with both what's this, Wadey and the Red Bull, and fighting off Gold Power. Now, obviously, different tyre compounds. You will have different speed. So he just held him off there, does Wadey. But Gold Power's definitely got a bit more pace than Wadey here. Is he going to have a look up the inside? Here he does. Think about it. Pushes Wadey a bit wide here. And up the inside goes Gold Power. You try to avoid that curb going into turn 11 there, because you could easily spin the car there. But Wadey's still not giving up without a bit of a fight here. I think these two are pretty much on their own here. And what's his P11 and 12, I think, in this race. So just outside of the points at this stage, just a bit further behind from the other Ferrari of, I think it's Perez. But you can see Wadey. Oh, no, sorry, it's Derek here. I'll take that back. But Wadey around the outside there, plenty of slipstream there, and gets back over the inside, or around the outside, I should say. So gets up into position 11 again. But I don't think Gold Power's quite done here, because he's got quite a good run here on those soft tyres. But we try not to burn them out too early, otherwise he'll be into the pits very early for the second stop of the race. But Wadey doing a pretty decent job here, and just manages to hang on for now, so he'll take P11
the car behind
for
has
now.
A time penalty. Don't fight him for track position. We don't want an off.
You see Death Pro there coming out of the final couple of corners through that chicane. Looked like the back end was starting to lose for him a little bit there. But now the pit stops are about to happen here, because Alan Hugo's the first one to blink. You heard just then that Top Banter has actually got a penalty as well. So both Toro Rossos have got penalties at this stage. Here's a bit of a split screen. First time I've brought this in for SRL videos. Just Wadey and Gold Power still battling away here. Going around the outside here. Oh no, that's not headed well. I think Wadey got caught up there with Gold Power's left front there, and fortunately for him, he's got front wing damage here. But I mean, to be fair, Gold Power is in. He was in AI mode. We'll go around the outside here onto the grass, no doubt. Even with a damaged front wing, he's still got some decent pace, but nope, has to straight line the first couple of corners there. But not sure where that the bollard was supposed to be, where you're supposed to re-enter the track properly. But anyway, on to end of lap 12 now. You can see Death Pro's now finally come into the pit lane. I think he was the only one that come into the pit lane. So now we've got a bit of fresh air.
The teammate behind is 42.7 seconds.
Now we've got a bit of fresh air to play with here, and I felt like maybe the car a little bit more speed, a bit more speed in fresh air. So going to see what it's like here, but just going to push on for as long as we can and get to a period, because this is where the soft tyre runners will come in, as Warden and New Zealand Ryan actually into the pit lane. Just keeping an eye on how long those guys were taking their soft tyres for here, because making sure that I have a short stint at the end of the race on the soft tyres, just so I can have a bit of pace to burn at the end of this race. It's yellow flags ahead. I think it's a Renault ahead. I think it's possibly Calbo.
Green flag.
Who's not having quite the decent race at the moment there. Here's poor old Calbo, but lagging comes in the end of lap 14, so that gives us the effective lead of the race. But of course, we have still yet to pit, and I think most of these guys have gone onto the medium tyres. So you see the gap behind. There's now pretty much is try not to burn up the tyres and, well, do a bit of pushing as well, just to build up a gap as quick as, well, not quite build up a gap anyway, but there goes Cowboy off the road again, so he's now a lap down, I think. Well, I might have just put him a lap down, maybe a couple of laps down, I'm not too sure, but wasn't a decent lap, not great race so far for Calvo. But you can see, I'll probably be showing these next couple of laps here. Pace was fairly decent-ish. I mean, my quickest lap time is probably not the quickest on medium tyres. So you can see nearly losing the back end coming out of turn 2 there. But I was hoping as well, as we get our first time penalty.
You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident.
There you go. Wasn't really thrilled about that one, to be honest, but anyway, and neither was that. Neither was I thrilled about that one because I felt like it was still in the lines, but anyway, that's just me. But yeah, pace-wise, I felt like, yeah, felt pretty decent-ish pace. And of course, the guys behind were starting to catch up as well, but I was hoping the two behind would actually battle for a few laps, and actually, I was sort of getting my wish a little bit there because both Ryan and Warden are sort of battling away a little bit there they will be the effective leaders, but Cowboy's now out of the race, which is very unfortunate, like I said, for Cowboy, but you just see these next couple of laps, yeah, pretty decent, consistent-wise anyway, but we're getting, what are we on, lap 19, I think this is. I'm only probably guessing at straws here, but yeah, I think it is lap 19 here, but you can see the leaders and the effective race leaders, I should say, have now finally caught up to me here, but there's, like I said, still trying to push on here, go as long as we dare, and just, well, have a short stint in the end for the soft tyres. You can see with Ryan, he's got much fresher medium tyres than me, so just leave the door open a little bit here. Was prepared to put up a little bit of a fight there, but haven't seen Ryan in the McLaren since probably TOR Pacific back in, what season was it, season 2? Or season 1 even, probably. But let Ryan go through, obviously, eventually, but my teammates back into the lane as well, but yeah, I wasn't keen on holding up the lead group here, so I just sort of backed out of it a little bit there. Probably should have maybe found a better spot there to let Warden go, but it was probably the best spot at that time anyway, because I didn't want to have any chaos and affect the lead group especially. But now obviously the next guy behind is Alan Hugo. He's obviously battling away as well with this for the fight for the lead group. So he's still keeping that podium streak alive for Force India, like I mentioned probably in the last couple of videos, or if you've seen any other SRL videos around. The podium streak is incredible. They've been going, the Force Indians have been on the podium pretty much since, well, SRL began, I think. So at this stage, I think Alan Hugo will probably keep that podium streak continuing, because there's a fair gap behind actually to lag. You can see the tyre wear, it's really starting to wear out here. I was hoping to keep with the lead group here as Alan Hugo up the inside there.
8 seconds.
Now, you really wear out the left-hand side tyres, which I was maybe a little bit surprised about, but yeah, obviously Alan Hugo gets by and gets up onto the podium, like I said, but we've got a fair, decent-ish gap behind to Laggy, so I mean, still trying to push on, hoping to keep with these guys as well, maybe get a bit of a cheeky DRS slipstream as well, so I can keep with these guys here, but it was probably getting close to the point where I was currently going to be close to coming into the pits.
I don't think these tyres have much more to give. They're showing a fair amount of wear and are going to start causing you problems. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
And I think that was probably the call where Jeff said to me, like, the tyres were starting to wear out, so that was probably the call for me to come into the pit lane and get onto the set of soft tyres there. As we now enter the pit lane for our one and only stop here, so we should be coming out, well, hopefully in a fairly decent-ish position, but we've done a fair job actually to get our tyres to this point of the race. As here we go, into the pit stop. Yeah, let's chuck on the set of soft tyres and away we go.
Exit now.
Nice stop from the Salva boys. It's
Look after these tyres.
come out in a fairly decent position here, plenty of fresh air actually, and come out ahead of Top Banter in position 7, but just sort of lurking in the wings a little bit there is our DRC Jared, who, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting him to fight back this far up in the order, but to be unfair, he's done a pretty decent job. There's a bit of a yellow flag action ahead. I think that was actually for Death Bro, who may have had a little bit of a moment coming out of turn 7 and 8. There's, I think Derek Kidd has actually got by.
Now, set ERS deployment to overtake. ERS to overtake.
There's now beginning lap 22. Derek Kidd actually came into the pit lane, so he must have come in early for maybe for the medium tyres, so must have got a bit of front wing damage or something along the way, because to be honest, I was expecting him to be fighting somewhere up in the top 10 anyway, but you saw then that Jared was actually setting the pace at the moment on the medium tyres, so he must have gone onto another set of medium tyres somewhere along the line. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't expecting him to have that much pace in the back end of the race here, but did start to pull away here with the much grippier soft tyres. As we're starting to close in a bit more on Death Row there, as we're getting a little bit close sideways there, but we actually set the fastest middle sector there, which I thought that was pretty decent, but probably would have set the fastest lap maybe if I not slide the car coming out into turn 10 there, but you can see through the final chicane that these tyres have a lot of grip, I must say. It felt pretty good easy to be on these set of soft tyres here, but we're going to come across the line. We do set our personal best lap time of a 1 minute 18 point, I think it's 1:18, let me just double check. Sorry, no, well, 1 minute 19.767, but that didn't help my cause either, so getting another time penalty.
We'll go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
Doesn't really help my cause here at the moment. We'll get an update.
The gap to the car ahead is 1.1 seconds. We're dropping more than 5 seconds a lap. We have to find more speed. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 20.8. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
So we're really starting to close in here on Death Row. You would have heard the amount of penalties he had. What about Jared?
The gap to the car behind is 1.3 seconds. We're losing about 5 seconds a lap. This pace is far too slow. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:19.8. They have a time penalty of 6.0.
Okay, so we've got the equal amount of penalties, but I sort of knew that Jared had a bit more pace probably than me. Well, to be fair, Jared's probably had a little bit more pace than me on this game anyway, so because he's really turned it up a lot in this in F1 2018 compared to 2017, but you can see, look at the run we're getting here on Death Row. He's trying to weave as much as he can to try and break the slipstream here, but it's no use. We've got the DRS, wanting to overtake ERS around the outside, even before turn 1 as we just make it into turn 1, but that was the moment I needed as we go up into position 5 in this race. Now I was hoping that Death Row would actually hold up Jared a little bit behind so I could pull away a little bit there as set of green sector 1 time here at the moment. But yeah, the gap ahead to Laggy is probably, it's going to be tricky maybe to get to Laggy come the end of the race, but you see Jared and Death Row I think we're fighting away there, and I think Death Row has gone off the road there. You can see that yellow flag there, so not sure whether Jared was getting a bit argy-bargy there, whether Death Row just did that on his own here. We might have some footage of that a little bit in a second, and just right on cue actually, but so you see Jared going up the inside here. Oh, it's yeah, probably just got caught up in wheels there a little bit there. Really unfortunate there for Death Bro. So thankfully he did record that clip for me there. So there's an Conrad, my teammate, trying to get a try for a big dive bomb there up the inside there of that's Wadey. As there goes Laggy, who's now obviously gone past the lap car of Wadey there. But you can see lap 26. You can see Jared there coming out of turn 9. He was getting a little bit wiggly there, and I thought maybe he may be close to crashing the car out very, very soon here. As you can see now, lap 27 right on cue. Okay, like I thought, Jared's now out of the race.
7 seconds.
And at this point, well, from my perspective, I was sort of fist pumping because I knew, yes, I had the big enough gap behind to Death Bro, and well, it's a big enough gap obviously ahead to Laggy as well. So even with or without the 6 seconds with the time penalties, it's looking pretty decent at the moment to get position 5. It's not my best ever result in SRL. I don't think it is anyway. I think that was P4 back in Brazil last season. Don't quote me on that one. But anyway, now a bit of fresh air. Now the weight was sort of lifted off my shoulders there with what happened to Jared behind there. But he was saying afterwards that my Laggy car was sort of affect him coming through a turn 9. Now I can't confirm or deny that, but whether that did happen on his street compared to mine, I'm not sure, because obviously he lives on the west coast, well in WA. I live in the east coast in New South Wales, so I mean, yeah, it's an interesting one. But anyway, we'll move on from that one. You see ahead, the two guys in front, the two lap cars are actually battling away here for position, which is actually, one of them is actually my teammate, and the other one is Wadey here. But we're going to get past Conrad here. And get past him, obviously, so I'm not sure exactly what positions they're battling away, but there goes Wadey right on cue, so I think he lost the back end, actually, did Wadey, so Conrod's actually got back ahead of him there, I should say, but yeah, now we're just pretty much on our own here, and obviously, yeah, the gap behind, I think Death Bro probably was struggling a little bit with tyres, and I think Top VB was getting close. The look update.
Okay, gap ahead is 6.5 seconds. You're closing in by 7/10 per lap. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 14 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 21.2.
Unfortunately, Laggy didn't have any time penalties, which was a bit of a bugger because I was hoping that would be the case. But this is the replay of what was happening in front of me here, so obviously Wadey gets past Conrad, go down into before turn 1 on the front straight here. But let's see what happens here. I think he gets the curb actually. Hey, hang on, just got away with. I think he got away with no front wing damage. Yes, he did. Thank God for that. That's a relief.
Our gap behind is 10.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 16 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:21.4. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
Yeah, like I was saying, the gap was big enough behind, but even with the 6 seconds that Death Bro and probably Top Banter as well wouldn't catch me at this stage, but this is Wadey again with Conrad going for a massive dive bomb here. I mean, great effort all around, Conrad, but it didn't quite work out in the end at turn 10 there, unfortunately, but great effort all around.
Looks like you're running on some slightly worn rubber at this point. Should still have a fair amount of grip left, but be mindful, it's going to start falling away.
Yeah, with 2 laps to go, we've got fairly decent tyres left up at disposal here. And to be honest, I was a little bit surprised. You probably would have seen the gaps ahead. The gaps to Laggy was starting to drop a little bit there, and I was probably a little bit surprised there to see the gap drop in front. But I think Laggy was probably, these tyres were probably shot at this point in the race. But yeah, I mean, maybe if I had a few more laps up my sleeve, I probably might have tried maybe catching him, but yeah, probably was all in vain there. So I mean, we're just pretty much on our own here. We're coming around the final couple of quarters. Warden's won the race on the track, but we're going to come home in position 5 up to starting 14th. Not bad if I do say so myself. So great effort all around. And yeah, fairly decent result here. And I was just double checking to make sure that it wasn't good enough, and thankfully it was. And Derek Kidd actually gets Top Banter for position 7 in the end, because he had much quicker rubber come the end of the race. I think it was on the soft tyres from memory, but yeah, great effort all around. But there's your podium. So Warden on position 1. I think Alan Hugo gets position 2. So the podium streak for Force India does continue. So congrats to them. And New Zealand Ryan, of course, back up on the podium again in his return race in SRL. So we'll check out the full race results just in a moment as we get a bit more XP. We're racking it up big time here, actually getting close to level 7 on silver, I think this is. But anyway, there's your final results there. So Warden, Alan Hugo and Ryan. Obviously, Ryan had a 3-second time penalty, so gets demoted back to 3rd. Laggy, pretty decent job in 4th. Obviously, myself from 14th to 5th. I mean, that's a pretty decent position, job up from 9. Get my words right. Up 9 positions in the race. And you got Death Bro, Derek Kidd, New Zealand Venom. Top Banter dropped away a little bit there. Dropped back to P9, I think maybe because of penalties. I'm not sure. Gold Power running out the top 10. Conrad in position 12 there. And a few guys behind there. Jared, obviously, P14 with the DNF. And there's probably an HO as well, probably down in 17th or something or other. But anyway, here's the driver's standings. So Warden now takes the championship lead over Alan Hugo. A 16-point gap between those two. Jared drops back, obviously, to P3 with that DNF. What do we got? We moved up into position 6 there with our 5th place. So gets a fairly decent amount of points there. And we got Gold Power running at the top 10. Conrad still in 14th position. He's still yet to get off the mark. But thankfully, we do have the constructors' standings right on cue. So Force India lead by 7 points over Haas at the moment. It's a fairly decent job from those guys. You got McLaren up there in 3rd. Then you got Toro Rosso, Red Bull. Sauber are in position 6. Ferrari, they're in 7th. Then you got Mercedes and Renault. And, of course, both the Williams cars are not being used by full-time drivers. So, there you go. That was round number 3 here in Spain for SRL APAC. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully I haven't criticised a few people too much. Apologies if I have so. But anyway, if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more SRL APAC content on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description, plus, of course, the links to the SRL website and the Twitch channel. Now, like I said, guys and girls, there'll be a whole lot of videos, SRL videos coming out fairly rapidly, hopefully, anyway. So, yeah, till the next one, which will be the Canadian Grand Prix, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.